Okay, so for the last sub-lecture related to Chapter 10, we're going to talk about termination, how to terminate an agency relationship. All right, and this falls into two broad subcategories: acts of the parties, which we're viewing now, and termination by operation of law, which is our next slide. All right. Um, Lapse of time. All right. So if the agent and the principal have agreed that the agency relationship lasts, well, let's just look at the example here. Seller grants a 3-month window to sell seller's house. At the end of the 3 months, if not sold, the agency relationship ends. All right. Lapse of time. Simple as that. Achievement of stated objective. Um, well, the objective of the agency has been achieved. Another example. Same scenario. Seller grants agent the right to sell their house. And in 4 weeks, the house is sold. Right? Well, once the house is sold, the agency relationship is over. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. Occurrence of a specific event. All right? So, agent accepts a job in another state and can no longer uh, actively sell the house. All right? So, occurrence of a specific event. Any event that would preclude either the principal or the agent uh, from achieving the objective that will end agency. And the last two are kind of related, so let's keep them separate. In application, they may look similar. Mutual agreement. All right, so principal and agent agree, this isn't working out for me, and let's just cancel the agency agreement. All right, that will do it. Right, both parties agree mutually. Alternatively, one party opts out, right? And since we're dealing with humans and free will, the courts aren't going to enforce specific performance. They're not going to make parties stay in an agency agreement that they no longer want to be in. However, if it is in violation of the contractual agreement, they could be obligated on the hook for damages. All right, most likely under breach of contract theory. There may be also a few tort theories that would be appropriate, but you'd be liable for damages. Okay, so that's acts of the parties. Let's talk about by operation of law. So when certain things happen, the agency relationship is dissolved automatically. All right, either party dies. Makes sense. Impossibility. All right. I've got an example here. We'll talk through that one, but let's jump back to the example from the previous slide. So buyer and seller have agreed that, no, not buyer and seller. Seller and agent have agreed that agent will sell seller's house. A week after the agreement is signed, the house burns down. All right. Well, that's impossibility. The house can't be sold once it's burned down. All right, so that would discharge the agency agreement by operation of law. All right, impossibility. Another example. I am selling breeding rights to a champion thoroughbred, which I believe is one word. Um, if the horse dies, uh, the objectives of the agency become impossible, right? And thus it is canceled. All right. Change circumstances. All right. And so actually, I probably jumped the gun with the example with the fire. So the house burning down is technically changed circumstances. Forgive me for that. But either way, still discharges or ends the agency agreement by operation of law. All right. Bankruptcy of either the principal or the agent are acts of war. Now this would have to be acts of war that affected the property. All right. Okay.